everybody. TK here, TK and Drinks. We got another entry in the BJCP Mead Style Guidelines Advice Series coming in today with the M4A. That is Braggot's. I have been looking forward to this one since the beginning. Tonight we are going to be joined by the homie Brick from Brickterranean Beer Hut down there in the southwest of Atlanta area. And this dude is doing high ABV stuff. He does a plethora of Braggot's and honey-related products, so be on the lookout for him. If you haven't followed him already, you're missing out on everything. Looks like he's on point already. Here we go and get that request sent over. Oh, he's already got one. Go through. Instagram's been being punk on me lately on the first try around. I don't know why. Yes, accept the request. Cancel that. Send an invite. My favorite part of doing the interviews is there we go. Second time's always a charm. What's going on, Brick? Appreciate you coming back, brother.
Not much, man. How you been doing?
Well, I think I'm officially sobered up from our last talk after those Samels and those cellos and stouts and everything else. So I know how it is when you're on the show. So I've been prepping, getting my workouts in, eating a meal. So I got everything set aside. So I'm good to go.
I'm glad to see the bottles got there safe.
Yes, everything arrived safe, looking fresh and crispy, and super excited about tonight. So again, thank you. Oh yes, that's the silver one you were talking about. Yeah, it looks clean too. So we were talking, we've been talking back and forth and stuff a few different times here and there, but since our last talk, I've been stuck on, talking to you about the Braggot specifically. And like I said, I've had numerous requests to have you back on speaking on Braggot specifically from the Mead community. So you definitely struck a chord with those cats.
Okay.
And so I know you might not necessarily be familiar with the BJCP guidelines and whatnot specifically, but I think you can speak to a lot of the same, like you can speak to a lot of the stuff that falls within those guidelines, even as if you had known them. So I trust in your skills and knowledge.
All right.
So one of the things that struck me last time when we talked was you had mentioned that you ferment everything with your honey. So that being said, let me rephrase that. You ferment everything with your honey as opposed to blending your beers and your mead post to create your Braggot. So in addition to that, what do you think makes a great Braggot?
To me, it's the harmonious blend of having the flavors of the malts and the honey come through in whatever drink it is that you're making. Most of mine are I usually probably use 40 to 50% honey to malts,
which is a significantly larger amount of honey than most people are doing when they're doing Braggots. I think a lot of those guys you were mentioning last time are sitting around the 20% range, kind of on the higher end.
Maybe even less. And I think depending on if you're from the beer side or the meat side, what you call it and how much honey that you have in it.
Gotcha.
And, I know it's an expensive endeavor, so I think that's why most of them are scared of doing it, because you already know honey's not cheap.
No.
And then since it's something that's not on the norm, like I said, I think it's normally an experiment, so they're kind of nervous on trying stuff.
Oh,
so
sure.
Since I've been primarily doing it, I've been mixing styles and just right now I started a dessert series that you see. Just having fun with it, just trying to make different flavors and combination. I think you can get more flavors because of the malts. The hops is more to the background, but just because of the different type of malts. So, I'm doing beer styles mixed with the honey. I'm doing, mixing different types of honey just to, get the flavor profile kind of dialed in.
I think you've got the right method. You said you had been doing some deep dives in reading back in your interpretation of like ancient or recipes or whatever, was that it wasn't ever meant to be designed, or originally wasn't intended to be a blended product, is fermented something together like you're doing. And for somebody like myself who's ignorant to the brewing process, like for like a 20-gallon batch, let's say, what does roughly estimate, half of a grain, or what's a full grain bill, and then like how much would you replace that with honey? You said 50%, so
Well,
is a grain bill for a
it depends
20-gallon?
on the actual beer. I mean, I've done a 15-gallon batch and used almost 200 pounds, like 20-gallon batch and did almost 200 pounds of grain, doing all grain. So that's another reason why I kind of stopped doing beer. So to get that amount of sugar, I'd have to use a ton of grain to get the ABVs that I'm doing. If you're doing lower
Yeah.
ABVs, I mean, you can do the math and kind of figure it out. So then I just started playing with the ratios of honey versus malt, but also it's the flavor, trying to find that balance. And I found usually in a 15-gallon batch, 17-gallon batch, I'm probably 30 to 40 pounds of honey to malts.
In a 20-gallon batch? Wow. So yeah, 40 pounds of honey and 40 pounds of malt. That's a significant amount in a freaking 20-gallon batch. Holy cow. And I know you got that proprietary yeast blend you got going on over there too.
Yeah, so my blend consists of 5 different yeast families that I blended that works for me. And
Yeah.
I use that for everything.
Yeah, sweet.
So I
That,
know what it does. I know how it performs.
yeah.
I know over time the ratio probably changes of how many of each of those families are in there, but
Sure.
it works for me, and I figured
Yeah.
it out, and it works for me. So I'm not going to change it.
Absolutely. Yeah, if you found the golden ticket, so to speak, might as well keep riding that train. So I guess that kind of leads in one of my next questions is how big of a role does the honey play in the process when you're choosing one of these things? Is it kind of like a background note, or is it like a
It
main
depends on
focus?
what I'm making. So yes, some things you can use wildflower honey because it's a basic, or maybe Tupelo or something like that. That's not real, you know,
Intense.
kind of neutralish. But then some of my stuff I made using like cranberry honey. So you get the
That's right.
cranberry notes, but without the sour. Like the ones you're about to try has carrot honey in
All right, let's get into that one real quick.
it.
So that one would be the Open Secret. So this is a
Well,
bourbon barrel aged port style brag. Oh no, that's not the right one. I want to drink that one too.
you want the blue label pocket piece.
The pocket pocket piece. Pocket piece. Carrot
I told you
cake.
we having fun, and you notice on that label, I'm front and center on the label.
Yes, I love the freaking label too. That's freaking awesome. Yeah, so this is a uh, carrot cake braggot. And so how did you achieve that carrot cake flavor?
So basically, I used a red ale blend for my malts.
The same way you made the fire was it fire
Slightly
stick?
different because
Oh,
of all this tariff stuff. There was a lot of stuff I couldn't get, so I had to research alternate subs of different malts to sub for ones that they didn't have in stock anymore. So I came up with another red ale blend, and then so that was kind of my base flavoring. And then with the carrot honey, Tupelo honey, and buckwheat honey, that's what I
ooh,
have in it. Um, Carrots, carrot juice, carrots, um,
yeah, that's
Madagascar vanilla beans,
oh my gosh.
um, sugar maple spirals, and so I sat it
What
on
kind of
spirals and to get that kind of different flavors added.
what kind of
And then
grain bill did you
Amberana
use
also,
then?
I sat it on Amberana too to get some of that baked goods kind of spicy flavor in there.
Got you.
So that's probably about a year old.
Okay. Uh, you may have said it. And I missed it. What was the grain bill on it?
So it was my red ale blend.
Oh,
So it
okay.
had several different malts, different types of
Oh,
malts to make a red
gotcha.
ale.
Yeah, it definitely has red ale leaning on the nose, and I definitely get some sweetness behind the red ale, but red ale is definitely front and center. And in true brick fashion, man, that is carrot cake on a slice, man. Nice,
And that's what
creamy,
I was
smooth
going for.
mouthfeel.
You get the cream
Well,
cheese type flavor because of the honey and some of the stuff I pulled from the wood. So you kind of
mm,
get that feel like you're eating a slice of cake, but well, you're drinking a slice of cake.
yeah, exactly. It's got that bit of the Ambrana. You get that kind of like earthiness on the backside. This is wonderful. And again, at what was it, 26%? I think it says on
Nah, that
there.
one is
Oh, 21%.
21. Yep.
Yeah, 21%. Again, it drinks like a 7% or 6.5%. That is so smooth. It has the mouthfeel of something much, bolder than that, but easily drink. Again, no fusels, all the typical brick fare, man. Well done again. You ever get tired of making kick-ass stuff? I would hope not. Please don't say no, or please don't say
But
yes.
but here I give you the major thing. I haven't drank in a year and a half.
Anything? Wow,
But
man.
I'm still brewing. I'm still brewing what I'm brewing.
You're not even taste testing it as you're brewing it?
Nope. All nose, all my other senses, my nose,
Yeah,
following my recipe. I got other people to taste test. Um,
yeah.
so I was like, yeah, you need to keep doing this.
So do you have a specific feeding schedule that you use for your braggots versus your other styles that you make, or do you even feed your
I
yeast
play with
nutrients,
different
or
stuff.
how's that
I
go?
play several ways. Sometimes it's all in. It's done when it's done. Sometimes I may step in the honey, so do it in stages.
Hmm.
It just depends on what I'm trying to do. You'll see that when you do the port style one. I mean, that
Okay.
aged in a brand. I aged that in a brandy barrel, so it basically aged in because it's 5 different brews that were aged in different barrels, and then I blended them all together and aged them in a brandy barrel.
So that's 6 barrels
So they all went in different barrels, and then I put it in the final
individually.
barrel, and it sat in that barrel for like over a year. The final barrel, and that
So
one's probably close to 4 years old,
I say
four to
that
five
one
years
was
old.
that one was cooking the last time we talked. That's freaking wild, man. And the other one you sent the was it the Melinda
Yep.
Russell's cake,
So that's a couple years now. So that was
the sizer.
yep. So that's basically a brick sizer. There's something different than everybody. So it's a sizer braggot because it has malts in it, but it's a sizer. Because of
Gotcha.
honey. So I wanted to try it. So it's organic apples
Yeah.
as the base, and then I sat it on pumpkin and some of my different woods like cypress, so you can kind of get the vanilla wafer type flavor from cypress.
Yes. Yeah. I think
So
we were talking
just
about
playing
this
with
one like
different stuff. I wanted to try it, so I did it.
yeah, I'm super excited. I think we were talking about that one last time we talked, and I'm here for that one. Um, so if I remember right from our last conversation, you're not a user of additives like a FT Blanc, FT Rouge, any of those tannic style mead additives or wine additives for like boosting mouthfeel and stuff like that.
Nope. All my mouth foam is just from the malts itself. Tannins, if I put any type of wood in or in a barrels, that's pretty much where my tannins come from. I may sometimes put citric acid and stuff like that just to give that little citrus
Balance it
boost
out a little bit.
to balance it a little bit, and it just playing with the different flavors, to kind of get it to where I want it at. Um,
Dude.
and it just bring it fun. Like I got all kind of ideas, stuff I want to do. So like I'm getting stuff ready. I'm about to do a strawberry shortcake, my version of it.
Whew.
And then I'm thinking about doing I got a recipe written out already for a hummingbird cake, to
I don't
my
even know
flavor
what that
data
is.
series. It's a southern style dessert that with banana and walnuts and pineapple. And
And
I'm gonna use a brown ale type of base for it. Like I said, I got all kind of ideas.
that
I want to do my version of a quad, but it ain't really a quad. It's gonna be bigger than that. But I want to do my
right.
version of a quad style braggot.
The
I
octo.
mean, I done a blonde stout, so I want to do a blonde stout bracket this time. So
Nice.
you're getting all those different flavors of a stout, but it's light colored.
Yeah.
So that's what the coffee, the chocolates, and the different things to get those flavors that you wouldn't get from the dark malts.
Gotcha.
And I think that's what's different too, because I've been playing with different malts in my brackets. So that's why they're in various colors to add flavor and not just going with the simple malts and just some basic honey.
Got you.
I mean, I got another one. I'm writing down a recipe. I got Brazilian pepper honey.
Acacia honey?
No, it's called Brazilian pepper.
Oh, just called Brazilian pepper honey. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Never even heard
So
of
I,
such a thing, but sounds
so I got
delicious.
60 pounds of that waiting for me to do something with. So I got a lot of honey. I still got some summerberry honey. So that'll probably be the backbone to the strawberry shortcake. I'm gonna
Yeah.
use the summerberry honey that I have to contribute flavor.
All right. So what are we doing next? Let's dueling forces, the barley wine. We were just talking about barley wines.
Yep. So you had it last time. So here's aged. It's the same one, but it was aged in several barrels, and now it got another year and change on it from when you had it the last time. So that's why I gave
Yes.
that to you for control. So you could let's see how it is from when you had it, and it was already aged in, and now it's aged another year to see what you think of
Yes.
it. So
Yes.
that's kind of why I sent that one to you because you had it before, just to see what you think of it now that it's been sitting.
Yes. No, I'm here for it. Oh,
So that's why I sent that one to you. I know you're like, why are you sending this one again?
no,
But I wanted you to
I was
try
kind
it.
of thinking you were leaning that way.
Yep.
Did you ever come up with a name for the pistachio Somel?
Oh, the pistachio one? Nah, I just left this thing. So I'm still doing different flavors. I got a coffee one now that tastes like a cat. No, it's coffee and vanilla flavor because I set it on coffee beans and
Oh, that coffee one was so
vanilla
good.
beans.
That coffee one was so good. Ooh, this is definitely matured quite a bit. Has like still has like those caramel toffee type of notes to it, but it's
Yep.
like a maturing like towards like a very rich molassesy type of caramel, not like a
Because
cane
everybody
sugar
who had
type
it,
of
they
caramel.
love it. Even the later version, they like it.
Oh, I would
I mean,
imagine
at
so.
Barrel and Flow, they drank a bunch of those bottles, and I sold a bunch of those bottles while I was up there.
Dude, that's so good.
Because I
That
like
is,
this recipe better than my original. Because this is the second version of it. The
mhm.
honeys are the same, but I changed that difference of the malt bill, changed the flavor to get it closer to a bottle wine to me on this version. And then because I sat it in the couple barrels and blending it together, I think it came together more.
Yeah.
So I
Oh,
call this my King Clown
absolutely.
version. Huh?
Oh no, I agree 100%. This thing is like on the retro when you do a quick inhale, you get like the bourbon and the tequila straight away. I'm having a struggle. I'm struggling to find the gin, but I mean, it's probably getting mixed up in the grain bill because it's pretty botanical as it is.
Yeah.
And then you get that, like, again, that rich, earthy character from the port barrel. I mean, this is a little bit leathery kind of in there. This is wild. Oh, what's going on, Will? How much is the bottle? It's a 500 ml bottle. And if you're talking about how much price they are, they're free with your gift purchase. Oh, my man. No, that's absolutely wonderful. So, what do you think are some common pitfalls that people fall into when they're trying to make a Braggot style?
I think being too safe.
Being too safe.
Because most of them are scared. They're not really sure what it is. So they tiptoeing it. So they're getting some basic malt, wildflower, or something like that. Nothing too crazy. They're trying to decide if they're going to do it together, not together. And
Right.
usually they're going to do a lower ABV. And then most of them carbonate.
Yeah.
All the ones I've seen were carbonated of some sort.
I'd say I would agree with that. Majority of them are carbonated, or to some degree.
Yeah,
Um,
I haven't, but I really haven't seen a lot. But all the ones I've seen so far, they've been carbonated to some degree. They're usually on the lighter side, and they're usually light colored. Because I got one on my shelf right now from a local a local brewery near me. It's
Got
a
you.
couple of years old now, but when I first had it, I didn't like it too tough. But I still got a bottle left, and it's just sitting. I'm going to see what it does with some age. I'm hoping that maybe that'll help it.
So people play it too safe. So I guess if someone was entering a competition with their Braggot and they had, say they've been getting some mid-level scores, some mid-30s out of 50, if they wanted to really ramp it up into that, mid-40s type of category, really push that, best of show level, what type of advice would you give them?
Um, I would try to highlight some type of flavor. Or if you're going like I guess I'm gonna say traditional, because I've got one, but I don't have no more of it. Otherwise, I'd have sent that to you.
Oh,
I made two versions of it. I made a barrel aged version, and then I made a non-adjunct version.
oh,
It was a blend of 5 honeys, malts, my yeast blend,
yeah,
and hops. I made a big batch, 30 gallons. I put half in a barrel and half not, and I let them
yeah.
both sit. I let them both sit. So I called one five deli the five deli bees.
All right.
That's the one that was aged, and then I called
Yeah.
one the naked hive.
Nice.
So it'll be close to a traditional, but it's a blend of 5 honeys, malt, water,
Yeah.
and yeast. That's it, and hops, and that's it. And
Oh,
they
okay, that's
totally
interesting.
different. But you get the flavors of the honeys and the mouthfeel. So everybody liked the naked version. So it tapped out,
It's understandable.
you
Yeah,
know,
I
but
would
it's
be.
different. So you can call it a traditional version because of the honeys, but I just blended 5 different honeys instead of just one. But you could do
No,
it with a single one to highlight that honey flavor and then do a simpler malt and then kind of have them work in tandem, you know. Or you can go crazy like you see me doing and make a whole full dessert in a bottle. It's a
yeah.
Braggot, but I mean, you the judge. What classification would you put that in? That would be the thing because now they either get into experimental, then because of the ABV and all the stuff in it, or it's aged or
You're
not.
right.
Sometimes not clear cut what category that would be in.
And I have to be honest, I'm being a poor host of the show, and I didn't actually brush up on what the actual qualifications for a Braggot are for BJCP guidelines. I should probably pull it up here. Um, but that's a good question, or is specifically for this thing. I would
Because it
say,
looks basic when you look at the rules, and
yeah,
it's like an outline because they don't even know. So then, how are you going to judge it if you leave it so open compared to everything else that has it's clear cut? This style of mead, this style of mead, or
yeah,
this style of beer, and then they did a few things describing bracket, but that's it. And then pretty much it's up to you to determine how much honey, how much malt to
yeah,
classify.
yeah. The descriptions here are very generic. Description does not apply to a beer-like characteristics. Clarity may be brilliant, although many braggots aren't clear. Light to moderate head. Some retention is expected if it's carbonated. Color may range from light to dark to black, depending on variety. I mean, you pretty much got everything. Does it look like it may have been a beer or a mead at one time? Then it passes. Again, same thing with aromatics. Sometimes it's sweet. Sometimes it's dry. Sometimes it's earthy. Sometimes it's whatever. So there's a lot of really subjective
So I
types
think
of
that's why
terms and
most
stuff
people
in
are
there.
scared to mess with it because it's wide open because a lot of people don't do it. So, and I
Yeah.
think compared to commercial or homebrewing, I think I've done the most because
Oh,
that's what I make, you know, and
yeah,
I'm playing with it, seeing, just seeing what I could do. Like I get, I got the person saying, make one that tastes like tea. I made one that tastes like tea.
oh,
You
brick tea
know,
was so good.
you know, make a carrot cake. Okay, let me figure it out. So I came out with a design. I designed a recipe to try to simulate a liquid carrot cake.
Yeah,
You know, and
mission
that's I
accomplished.
think the fun of it. I think I can pull out more flavors easier than a meat maker. Even though I am a meat maker, because technically a braggot is a meat.
Right,
But because of our country's rules that it's a wine, unless you're in New York, I think there's one other state, it's
right.
not a meat. those states is considered a mead, like it's supposed to be. But because we
Right.
consider mead a wine, which sometimes I wish I would have fought a little harder to not be stuck into the wine category and be your own thing.
Oh yeah,
And then I
absolutely.
think y'all could have evolved into something different. But I think some people are nervous of expanding, pushing that envelope. I just
Yeah.
hope that the meat world doesn't fall into the same trap as the beer world, and all of y'all are the same, competing for the same customer.
Yeah, and we were brushing on that
Because
last
that's
time,
why a lot of them
and
close down. That's why a lot of these breweries are closing down. What difference is if I go to TK or Brick if they're
right.
doing the same stuff in their stuff and they're down the street from each other? Now it's who do I like better? That's where I'm going to spend my money because it's the
Yep.
same thing at both of them. Now, if
Yeah.
you made meads, I did stouts, somebody else did braggots, together we would still make money because we're
Yep.
not competing for the same person. And it gives everybody a variety. But I don't see that. Even when I'm going to like the Brown Folk Festival, it's all the same stuff. And guess what? All your people is at my tent now. My lines
Dude.
are off. My lines are crazy. So you got repeats. They bring new people with them, which is
Yep.
bringing them more into the meat world because it's
Yep.
honey. So now everybody's interested. All the meat people are coming to my tent, and there's other
Yep.
meaderies. It's like one other meadery there. There's ciders there, and then a bunch of beer. But the lines at my thing is just crazy.
Yeah, you're
Um,
saying 3 and 4
and
hour
then
lines and shit.
and a lot of new people are interested.
Yeah.
One because of my crazy numbers,
Yep.
so they're nervous but excited to try it at the same time. And then once they try it, they're like, "This is not what I thought."
Yeah. That's
And then they're
definitely what
back
I
in the
thought the
line
first
again.
time.
They're like, "I'm happy to wait in line." And there's some people that are waiting in line 5 times to drink more and
Yeah.
try all the flavors that I have. So that's kind of exciting that the drum of people that wants to try it are excited to try it every year, and the
Yep.
lines are getting bigger and bigger every year I go.
You're you're exactly what the mead world needs, man. I try to send as many people your way as possible. I
Because some people
speak
get
on.
upset, like, "You gonna let them call it a mead?" I'm like, technically it is mead. I don't care. It's
Yeah.
mead. It's a mead with grains in it. But because of our rules, you can't classify that. But sometimes I can use that to my advantage. Because there's some places you can't sell beer, but you can sell mead.
Very true.
So why don't just classify
So
that
like I
as
said, it's
mead?
all about skirting those gray areas.
Yeah, so you skirt the gray area, but it technically is mead. We just can't do it in this country because of the rules.
Right. How diligently do you maintain your recipes? I know you don't like do a whole lot of
I,
repeat
I keep a
flavors
log
and
on
stuff.
it, but now to the point on basic things, I know the ratios. I can use I can use my normal malt blend hops, which is the background player to add the flavor. I got my yeast already. Depending on what I'm looking for is what honey I use, and then what adjuncts I want to add to the party or not. So that's why I did the Naked Hive and the Five Daily Bees was to showcase the honey similar to a mead. So that got everybody excited. So a lot of mead people was coming to the tent to try it. You know,
Yeah.
and then also I said the last couple of years I'm starting that Flavor Daddy series, like you see. That's
Hmm.
my dessert series. So I come up with a dessert style breakfast.
Yes. As you should. This is
Just to
amazing.
make it just to make it fun,
Yeah.
and like I said, because of mead, I think it's harder for y'all with just yeast, honey. It's harder to make those dessert styles. I think mine's come closer because of the different malts.
Yeah. Oh,
Because
100%.
you don't have a lot to play with, so it's kind of harder to me doing a regular mead style doing that. So like if you did a strawberry sugar and I did one, it's gonna come out different.
See, and that's such a wild thing to hear somebody say because so many people wax on about how versatile and how unique meat is in the sense that it can do all these different things, and you feel constrained by the fact that you're not allowed to
And
add
that's
grains
how
to
I
it.
went the bracket route. Grains was just too much. I'm gonna say it, beer was just too much work with
Oh
all
yeah,
them grains, right?
100%.
And then Mead was fun, but I'm like, I thought haircut. And then I was looking up Braggots. Like I said, I tried something like, And then I started playing with it. I'm like, this is fun as hell. Like, I could do some amazing stuff with this if you expand your mind, you write out a good recipe, and you play with it and don't stick to the regular stuff. It's wide open what I can make. I can never run out. I haven't made the same thing yet. I only made a few things on repeat just to see that I can repeat, but it's so
Right.
fun that I could do different things or a slight change can shift it left or shift it right.
Yeah.
So that's what's fun about doing Braggots to me and making it exciting because it's still a mead, except I use grains to my benefit to pull out different flavors.
Right. All right. So let's grab another one of these. The I want to do the Sizer one here, but I want to save that port one for last. So this is a pumpkin and
Oh yeah,
apple.
that one there. That's my 5 blend. That port one. That's like my four of my winter ones that I was making blended together, and then that dueling forces is also blended in that to blend to get them together to make
That's
them
like the
cohesive.
granddaddy.
So and all of those were barrel aged themselves, and then I blended them in a barrel.
You're like
And
a
I did it
fucking
because
mad
everybody was saying, "Hey,
scientist.
don't do it." I'm like, I'm doing it. I don't care what you tell me. All those flavors are going together, and they did.
You are like a fucking mad scientist, bro. I love it. I mean that in the best way possible. All right, so here we go. Melinda Russell's cake. Now, who is Melinda Russell?
So she was one. I always give people homework. So she was one of the first black women to make a cookbook, and that
Yeah.
what you see on the label is a rendition of the cover of her cookbook. If you look at the label.
The front
Yep.
or the
Yep.
like the background image behind all the
Yep.
stuff.
The background image.
Yeah.
That's. So then I had a whole lot of people looking her up.
Oh
So
yeah, I see it there.
I do fun stuff like that, like the Black Lumberjack. That was an actual person,
Did not know that.
and his name is on the bottle. And people started looking it up and doing homework. So I like doing little fun things, or I do fun different fruits like pink pineapple, and purple yams, like I did the one. So people like never had it, so now they're going out there looking for it and trying it and eating it. So it's just making everything fun. So I like to do stuff like with a coffee bean, the whole fruit. The fruit, the inside, the creamy layers. I want to use the whole fruit and make a braggot.
This smells like I man. It smells like pumpkin pie and apple cider at the same time. That is you managed to develop some of the most complex aromatic profiles. Like I get the funkiness of the pumpkin in there, but then like it's immediately like overwashed by like that sweet apple and then like that nice like sweet cinnamon characteristic in there. Holy crap.
And that's from the wood. Because remember, in that I had amberana.
Yes.
So that's my spices. So you don't always have to use spices. I use wood as the spices. And then I also added cypress, which will give you like a vanilla note.
All right.
Like a cookie wafer note.
Man, do you just discover this stuff solely by playing? I mean, how much research do you do behind your flavor profile, like creating your flavor profiles, like with these wood types and stuff? Because that is, man, that is so unique. And to know that again, that there's no cinnamon in that there's no vanilla in there, that's just coming from the spirals, man. That is legitimate. It's not overpowering. It's like not super pumpkin-y. It's not super apple-y. It's very nice.
But apple was the base. There was no water in it.
Oh, so yeah, 100%. This would be great on like a winter evening with like warmed up with like a cinnamon stick in it or something, like a wassail or something. Oh my gosh.
Dude, but you know, like I played with wood. I looked up what the flavors are, the different types. I always have wood on hand, and also the different barrels that I pick because I'm looking for something or hoping for something.
Yeah.
And then just experimented that to get my flavors so that I'm not always relying on, let me get some cinnamon, let me get some cloves, let me get some of it. I'm learning I can pull it from the wood, and then you just got to time it how long it's in there so you don't go past a certain point so that you can get the flavors that you want.
Brick out here dropping knowledge like it's fucking not 2025. This is fucking awesome. So how do you choose? If I remember right from last time, you do like 99% of your adjuncting post fermentation. Like you very rarely ferment with anything that's not
Yep.
grain bill or honey.
It's usually secondary, tertiary, maybe even 4.
Right.
And I do it I get my smell, whatever, I get it to where I want it, and then it comes out. And then, you adjust. I never really, unless it's the actual juice, I don't do it in fermentation, the initial primary.
Got you.
That's just my preferred method because you can dial it in better, and then something fermented don't taste as good. But also, I like using the whole fruit. So, like I said, I'll use the juices as part of my water bill, and then the actual pulp, skins, or whatever, will go in secondary or third. I use all of it. So you get all those layers of the fruit.
So you get all the malic acid, all the tannins, everything from the apple skins. You get the whole profile from the apple on top of everything else.
Yep. Or if I'm doing pineapples, I do the same thing. If I'm using ginger, I do the same thing.
Oh yeah, you had mentioned what was it? You said was it a spicy ginger pineapple one you did?
I got a pineapple ginger, yeah, and I still got two bottles left.
Yeah, man.
3 bottles left. It's been aged 3 years now. No, 4.
That's ridiculous. So how do you perceive balance within the Braggot style?
To me, you want to taste the honey, some kind of way you want to taste the honey notes, and then you also want to taste the malts. And I think if you're going too basic on the malts, you're going to wash it out, kind of, sort of. And then, like I said, I made one that had dark malts from a stout. I did a stout blend. I made a stout, and then I made a second one. It was a Braggot with the same base as the stout, so it was pitch black.
Oh, I can imagine.
And you have the combination, and then I did that I sat it on purple yams that was roasted, and also it sat on cranberries, and it also had cranberry honey.
That was one of the best stouts I've ever had in my life. Like that is S tier, S plus tier, God tier level product there, brother.
So, just playing with the ratios and that there's a symbiotic relationship between the malts and that, I think is the way to go. The hops, you're not going to taste in my stuff. My IPA version that I've done, it's hoppy. But a 20.5% IPA can kind of stand up to what the torture I give it.
Yeah, didn't you say you triple, quadruple dry hopped it or some shit like that?
Yep.
Yeah,
with 9 different hops. And it's hoppy, but it all goes together with the sweet taste, and it's big. It has a mouthful. It's more closer to a strong ale, but it's considered an IPA. But because it's not in that styles range, it's not considered an IPA. But it's an IPA. My version.
Yeah.
And then I did another version of that, and I sat it on blueberries for 2 weeks, and I still have 9 gallons of it.
And those are still also technically Braggots because of the quantity of honey and the grain bill and everything. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think when a lot of people think Braggots, especially coming from the mead world, I don't think, how do I put that? I think a lot of people think down like kind of like a more linear path. They're going to do like a brown ale or maybe a red ale or something on the darker side. I don't think a vast majority of people would consider doing like a lager or a IPA or like a pale or like a Pilsner style Braggot, but you totally could, and those are completely viable options, and it should be explored more by other people than you.
No, I'm doing red ales. I'm doing stouts. I'm doing. You playing with it, and then now I'm doing my dessert series, and I think that's really the funnest thing. How close to that dessert can I make it?
100%.
And then I'm trying to figure out, looking at the different malts, what would it give me? You know, like you can get a nutty, kind of like a nut flavor in that carrot cake, and that's all because of the malts. I don't got no nuts in it.
Right. You're using the flavor profiles from within the grain bill, just like you do with the honey profiles or any of the adjunct profiles. You're using, you know, the greater parts of the man. You're thinking on all the right levels, dude. This is so awesome. All right, let's delay no longer and get into this port one. I feel blessed to have even received this bottle. So.
You see how big it is, right? 26.
Oh yeah, so this is the one I was looking for earlier. Yeah, so look at that, cats. That's probably all mirrored on there, but yeah, 26%. So this was all right. So one more time, this is how many Braggots all mixed together?
5.
5 Braggots mixed together. And each one of those was barrel aged prior to being blended, and then barrel aged a 5th time or 6th time or first time. Yeah, that's freaking ridiculous. All right, got last glass here.
So that you can say that's kind of like a cuvee. Okay,
oh, yeah,
I saw your nose jump back.
Oh, it's so intense. I'm loving it. It's dark. It's leathery. It's tobacco-y. This is like everything that you would want in a. I mean, I'm not a huge port drinker, but I think that's because I haven't found a port that tasted like this before.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So it hits the wine vibe. It's basically a strong wine, right? It's a port.
Right. Yeah. And it's definitely more vinous than some of your stuff. It actually has a little bit of a kind of a wine
that in
aromatic.
a brandy barrel.
Oh, the great brandy barrel, yeah.
But also, remember, there's lots of cherries in there, assorted cherries. There's figs, dates, coconut, chocolate, orange.
Yeah, how tannic is this one? Does it have a super lot of barrel character in it? Oh yeah. Man, ooh, that's like rich and like almost tangy, a little bit like
It is on the dry side compared to some of the other ones.
Oh, 100%,
right?
Yeah, it's got some unique characteristics in there. It's not somebody. I'm assuming that a lot of that's coming from the port, but you mentioned those characteristics. Yeah, there's some date type of character, some fig type of characteristics in there. Like I said, I get a lot of that like leather, that tobacco character. This is delicious and delightful, my man. Holy cow. But what I don't get is like any heat, any warmth for 26%. Like there is no, again, this drinks like a strong Belgian triple or a quad. This drinks like, I would guess, a really well made 9% something. But 26%, just 3 times that. Holy shit.
So how's it on the nose?
Ooh, that was a solid catch. I think I'm gonna need more of that to boost the aromatics. It's like I said, I get the vinous type of character on the nose. It definitely has like a wine type of aromatic to it a little bit, in that direction. I get the caramelly notes, the leather, the like a light tobacco type of characteristic. I don't get any one particular type of barrel necessarily, but you can definitely smell that there's a significant amount of barrel characteristic to it. Like I said, I need more experience in drinking ports, but I imagine a lot of what I'm picking up is port.
So, like, say if somebody sent you something like that in your Mead judging.
Like if I'm at a table and this comes across my flight?
Yeah, like what would you do as a judge?
I
What
would
would you
judge
consider
it.
that?
Everything I'm just telling you right now. What would I consider? So ABV doesn't have to be claimed. It just you would have to claim there's ranges. So like you would have to claim this is what they call a sack strength, which is above 14%, but you don't have to declare how high above 14%. So that
Okay.
could be technically 15%. So I would think that this was again a really well made 15% mead because you would be declaring it the right way. You would have your honey types that you have listed that you used listed on there. Maybe your grain bill. I don't think you necessarily have to list a grain bill on there, so I wouldn't necessarily know what grains to look for. Honey characteristic, again, something like this would be almost non-existent to find. And with all those barrel characteristics in there, I would just have to judge it as it sits and not try to pick apart and find any one element, but judge the elements that are present in like as they are and just how well it tastes as the complexity and just judge the project as a whole. And like I said, none of your stuff that I've had, my least favorite thing I've had was the cranberry purple yam barley wine, or no, the cranberry, the Braggot one, not the stout one. The Braggot
Yeah.
one was my least favorite. And again, I'd still like quality wise, I'd put that in a 39-40. And I think my favorite one was actually the purple yam stout, and that's a solid 50. There's not a thing wrong with that stout. That is the stout that all other stouts aspire to be. So in that regard, if this came across my table when I'm doing judging, I would just have to judge it as it sits. And I'm telling you, this is easily mini boss, mini best of show versus best of show level stuff. Everything you make. I don't mean that to blow smoke up your skirt or anything, but I say that in a genuine appreciation for the product you make, because there's again so few people out there that are making braggots, as you've attested to yourself as somebody who enjoys them and tries to seek them out. It's just not something you see. And again, to see somebody doing the style justice, the brand of mead justice, who doesn't necessarily consider himself a mead maker, from what I can interpret by what you're saying, more for out of a technical and like I'm trying to open a business and I got to call myself this because I want to align with a business, this way, but I don't mind being called a mead maker because that's technically what I do. Like everything I've said tonight, you embody and encompass everything I wish more people in the mead community would pay attention to and try to be and try to achieve. So all that being said, I would judge it as it came across. And it's a solid 44, 45, man. There's nothing wrong with this.
And then you gotta understand what customers you're looking for.
100%.
I'm not looking for the same customer as most beer places. My price point is way higher than that.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, my cellos are going for $75 a bottle for $375,
Right.
and
As they should.
they don't even blink paying for it.
As they shouldn't.
Those bottles are easily going for $35. I probably can get more. Those are easily going $35 a bottle.
Oh, dude, that's a $50 bottle right there all day long. And
then some stuff maybe that I'm aging longer could technically go for more. You know what I mean? Because of the time invested. And that's really, if you're trying to figure out your model for your business.
Oh yeah.
That's kind of what I'm deciding now. I have to bake my stuff 1 year, 2 year, 3 years in advance. So I'm basically almost no different than a distillery. My
100%.
product and money is sitting before it comes out. So what can I sell now? And that's why I started learning how to distill and all those things, so that I can have a product to sell now to get money coming in while those braggots are aging.
Yeah.
And getting ready.
It's ridiculous that you're selling them that cheap, and I mean that in the most positive way for customers, because you're being taken advantage of in that respect. Because there's breweries and meaderies out there that are releasing stuff that was made within a 3-4 month period for $35, $45, $55 a bottle or more, and you've got 3,000 days into this, and it's the same price.
I got to figure out that right time point for rate ratio, kind of like distilleries, and that's what I'm going to have to discover to make it work. But I don't think for me, a brick and mortar is the way to go in the beginning.
Right.
I need to drum up sales and recognition through tap takeovers and bottle sales.
Yeah.
Whether it's online or basically bottle shops or restaurants. And then as I get known and get more recognized, then I can build a destination place.
Yes. With
that
the B&B style
the,
and the meeting rooms up top and all that stuff.
Yes, and have events and stuff. That's the only way it's going to work. But I already got to have money coming in from the other avenues for it to work.
Right.
And then people will probably come. But if I go on the same model as everybody else, I ain't going to be open long. You're going to get tipsy drinking my stuff.
Oh, 100%.
So it's not the same because of my price point. It's not going to be the same for you to come in and me pushing glasses at you like you do at most places because it's on the sales while you're in the seat is what they're looking for, and the food and the amount of pints you buying because of the price is what they're trying to do. Me, my price is higher and my stuff is bigger, so you're not going to drink mine. You're getting 4-ounce, 5-ounce pours in my establishment for my stuff.
Tops. Yeah.
Tops. So that it's a different model. And also the prices are going to be different. So it's a different pricing model altogether. And that's a whole different mindset for consumer and for me, as the one running it. And that's the part I have to figure out, that I'm still making money with the price point. And depending on how long I age it is determining also the price. So the price, like you said, can go to that 50, 60, 70 bucks because it's been aging like that one you just drank. That would be one of the higher end bottles just because of the time put into it and what's in it, and then get people to understand that. But I think that's going to take time for me going to festivals and showing my face and doing these different things and these other avenues. I think it's the only way it's going to work. But having an establishment in the beginning is not going to work for me compared to other people.
Yeah, last time we were talking, you said you have the homies that were over doing the thing with the cats over at Creature Comfort. And what about something like that for you? Are you able to like latch on and do like team up with like a distillery and take a little?
So what I'm doing is in about a month. I mean, I'm on tap now. The Pocket Piece is on tap at Mecca Beverage in Columbus, Ohio.
That's right. Yeah.
So a friend of mine opened up. So he's doing a place that people like me can get a license underneath him.
Yes.
Share the cost of the building that he's at, a percentage.
Yes.
That comes out of your profits. And then he's doing over-counter sales. So that's a gateway to start to get my stuff known, and then I can push it. And then I just work with the lawyer to get my wholesale license since I can manufacture there. And then I can start slowly trying to get on shelves. And
so he's like
day at a time.
So he's like contract brewing for you, basically.
Yes and no, except I'm doing the brewing. Everybody knows I'm going to do my brewing. I'm just using the space.
He's contract brewing for you. Dude, that's pretty fucking legit, man. And he's trying to work
it because they know I'm top secret about my yeast and all that I got mine a long time to do my thing. Then my stuff is in his stuff. So he's trying to figure all that out now. And then but right now they got me on tap. I'm going to see him again next week.
Yeah.
He's going to take some more stuff with him to, showcase it there and, baby steps. And then
where was that place at? Just give them some shine.
Mecca Bev House in Columbus, Ohio.
Mecca Bev House in Columbus, Ohio. That's fucking legit.
So he already has like 4 or 5 brands. There's the Meadery, there's a cidery, beer, me with my craziness, and then once we work through other stuff, so that I can legally distill there. Yeah. I'll start doing that. I'll start doing my Samels and Limoncellos there and start getting those on the shelves too.
Dude, that's freaking legit. All right.
So, I got to work around the system right now and slowly,
Yeah. And
Take baby steps to get myself out there.
but you've got all, but you've got all the legal mumbo jumbo part taken care of now. It's just growing the brand and getting your product into more people's hands.
Yep. And like everybody says it's unique and you got to do it. You got a gift, you got to do it. And
Oh, for
get
sure.
other people to try it and see it, and just seeing it, like I went to Barrel on the Floor again, just
Hmm.
seeing the love from everybody. That's repeats coming back, and they bringing new
Yeah.
people with them, and then the word of mouth through the festival to get all these people come to my tent, which is freaking awesome.
Do you ever
So
end
it's
up
word of
linking up?
mouth that's getting people to my tent. Like it is spreads like wildfire. Them over there told me to come, or they're telling me who's telling them to come,
Oh,
and it is coming, and then you'll come to the tent, and then you'll bring 6 more people back with you, or 8 more people back. Or if you came last year, you bringing 5 more people with you this year. So it's kind of cool to see that many
the
people
crowd grow.
that's coming to try something different, and then they trying to figure out what new thing did they bring this year, because I'm bringing something new every time. So,
Yes. 100%, man. Um,
yeah,
how, I don't know. I'm just so, like I said, so taken aback by everything you do. I agree with everything all those other people say, man. You're certainly a talented individual, and like I said, unintentionally, you're doing a ridiculous amount of advocacy for a brand that's certainly underserved in the mead community. And like I said, I try to push as many people your way as I can to try your stuff. And anybody who asks me about Braggots ever, like I said, your name's the first one that comes up because I wish I had. There's so few other people that are of your ilk out there, of your excitement level towards it, nerding out on a single thing and stay in a single lane. And that it's if we had somebody like you for sizers, if we had somebody like you for mellow mellows, if we had somebody like you for even just for fucking traditionals, man, if we had somebody like you for traditionals, I think the mead game would be turned on its head. There would be so like I don't know what that would look like, but we need somebody with that type of enthusiasm, that type of je ne sais quoi, that oomph to make it happen. Because your brand of enthusiasm is what is needed in the craft alcohol community.
and it's fun,
So
and like I said, it's just a lot of people don't know what a meat is. Never had it.
yeah,
A lot of people don't know what a bracket is. So that's like one of the few conversation starters as these new people, new brick babies are coming to the tent. They ask them,
yeah,
what is it? They just know it's good. They heard it's good. You need to
yeah,
go to that tent and try it. They don't know what they're trying. So looking at a
yeah,
label doesn't mean nothing to them. Like, what is it? So then you kind of got to give them terms that they can relate to or ask
yep,
them what they're like to kind of steer them to it, or you give them a flight of everything I have
yep,
and let them try it and decide for themselves, you know, is what I make for everybody? No.
yep,
Will a lot of people try it? Yes. And
100%.
that's the point. Try it. It's something different.
Yeah,
It straddles the line between a mead and a beer.
yeah.
And then doing these different crazy stuff like cakes and stuff gets everybody excited. A lot of women come to the tent.
Oh yeah. Nobody wants
Even
booze
with the
that tastes like
ABV,
booze. People want
women are the
booze that
first
tastes
ones.
delicious.
They're the first ones to want to try it. And the men, I hate to say it, are kind of shaking at the knees like, that number though. Like, don't worry about the number. Try it.
Yeah. I, yeah. I'm starting to not even get out of bed for anything under like 12, 13%.
Like, try it. It's not what you think because they're expecting the heat, the
Right.
burn, like you get on some ABVs that are 15 and up. I know why it does it, but I let them figure that out.
Right.
I know why they get that burn or that fusel. Because
Yep.
most big beers you see in my range has that. And it
Oh
needs
yeah.
even more time
To age out.
to age out.
Yeah.
After my yeast cleans up, it's gone. You get that type of feeling at that stage, but once it's clean, it's
Oh
gone.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
technically, you could drink my stuff earlier but it's not as good because of the complex flavors. It
Right.
needs that time to develop into whatever it's going to be. And I'm just interested
Exactly.
to see what some of my stuff would be 5, 6, 7, 8 years. Like what it would taste like with more time. Just like whiskey,
Yeah.
you know?
Oh, and you're creating the right type of product to do that. You're creating a big bodied, full, high ABV thing, that something that's designed to only get better, throwing all these barrels, all these crazy, um, complex blended, melded flavors. It's designed to get better with age, or at least let's not say get better. It's just designed to mature with age and develop a more complex profile. Whether that's better or not, I guess is up to a
Yes.
personal thing. But it definitely is going to mature positively as opposed to turning into like vinegar or some shit.
Yes. And that part of that's because of the amount of sugar that's in it and the
Mm-hmm.
ABV. Um, and you also, it can take some of that oxygenation everybody's so worried about. You need some of that for that change. And because of the sugars and the high alcohol, it can take it.
Oh yeah, and honey being a natural antioxidant, I think a lot of people um, overly concern themselves with oxidization for their needs. There's
I don't
that,
stress on it. I'm just going to tell you, I don't stress on it. Most of my
and
stuff
I'm
sits 65 degrees, 64 degrees year round. My barrels,
yeah.
everybody got their own ideas of barrels. Some people like because of your climate, the up and down. Mine sit at the same rate. It's a slow drawer, and it just sits at the same rate. I
Right.
don't do it. It's moving around the house and not. The room is the same temp, and it just sits in there. And it
And
is
I think
slowly extracts the flavors that it wants to extract. When it's
yeah,
ready, it's ready.
and that same room does everything. Does fermentation, does aging, does everything.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And that degree, yeah. And if I need
and
to
that's
heat up, I got blanket. I got the heater blankets. If I need to
mhm.
cool it down, I can run it through the jacket. So you can maintain your temperature to what you want.
The
And you just
temperature
gotta
is huge.
understand the yeast that you use. I don't think yeast is as important as people think, but I don't think people spend the time to get the most use out of that specific yeast to know what it does or can't do.
Yep. All
You
the all
know,
the all the guys I've been talking to recently that I admire the styles that they make and everything say the same thing. It's either you don't use the yeast profile, you don't use the yeast, one specific yeast enough to really pick up the nuances it can develop from style to style, fruit to fruit, spice to spice, woody woo.
because everybody thinks I'm crazy. Like, you don't try other yeast? I'm like, no.
No, you're better off picking one yeast type, one yeast blend, one
So when
yeast
I was doing
whatever.
Mead, same yeast. When I'm doing Braggots, same yeast. If I do a beer, same yeast. If I'm doing uh, a
Something that you're going
mash,
to distill.
a mash distill, it's the same yeast. And all of that's going to lend to the characteristics that I'm known for.
Right.
No
It,
fusel, cleans up after
yeah.
itself.
Yeah.
And depending on temperatures and stuff, I can change the flavor, add flavor. I know that. I know what my yeast flavor profile, what it could give if I push the limits.
Right.
But
What's
I
the
only
most
know that because I use the same yeast, huh?
what's the most times you've pushed one batch of yeast? I
The
remember one
most
time
is
you were
the
telling me the
one with
cat was doing
the
like
red ale,
20 up to one time.
Susselock and um the red ale. Because my red ale was initially 28%. I backed it down to 25.
Backed it down to 25. I love those words.
I blended it down to 25, you know?
Yeah,
Um, but no, you survive.
that's freaking yeah. That I mean, so it just goes right up until the airlock's not going anymore, and every single cell in there is just game over.
Yep. I mean, I tried straight up. I even tried stepping. Stepping is too much work to me.
Yeah.
Trying to keep up with it and do your additions. I find it better to let it go till it's done. But because I start so high in gravity,
Hmm.
the one you're drinking now is the closest one to drying out.
I
Most
would
of them
believe that
stop at a
based on
certain point.
everything. Yeah. This is the driest thing I've had from you other than either the Samels or the Cello.
Yeah, and that's the only one. But most of them go to a certain sweetness and it's done. When it's done, it's done. I don't obsess. I
Would
know
you
the range about where it's going to end at.
would you mind revealing your gravity, like your starting gravities?
I'm usually at probably like a 115. I've been as high as almost a 2.
Okay. And then so you're probably getting do you use gravity or bricks?
I use gravity.
So you're probably getting, if you're starting at 1150 to get all the way up to 26%, you would have to be fermenting all the way down to like almost dry, or like 990, like 10 flat. No?
You know,
Interesting. Like I guess I don't understand enough about that process. That's freaking wild.
and some of my higher ones, I may be at that 117
When is that where they finish at or where they start at?
where they start at.
They start at that, and then you
1.17.
1.170. And do you back sweeten them?
No,
Man, I am so intrigued at how the hell you get them up to 26% and don't eat up like 200 fucking points of gravity. I just don't know enough about the process. I'm too ignorant to it, but this is so fucking wild.
because most people are scared to go over 1.1. You know,
Yeah,
one. I go up there to that. 1.15, 1.17.
yeah.
I've
I
been
just had
the highest I've been was 2.
oh, so I got a brew going right here. It's a coconut banana mead that I'm doing. It started at 1050 or 1150, finished at 1050, and it's like 13.5% or something. So, I mean, I wouldn't know how to get it. It's got to be the yeast type that you're using. Maybe there's like a turbo yeast or something in there, something a higher ABV. Oh, champagne style yeast would do the same thing. So, champagne yeast will get you a higher ABV. So, it's all in your yeast blend. It's all in that fucking yeast blend, dude. Fucking A, man. You've really nailed a special product here. So what's big on barrel and flow is just for the summer, but what's your next the big flavor
Well,
profiles you're working for next year?
like I said, I'm working on a strawberry shortcake, a
Hell
hummingbird
yes,
cake,
man.
which I'll probably be in a year out. I want to do a blonde style
Yeah,
Braggot. So I'm going to play with that. So you'll have the chocolates, the coffee, and some other things. I might do a regular version and a barrel aged version of it. I want to do a version of a quad.
hmm
Um,
the octo.
yeah, I just want to play with different stuff and just try stuff and keep having fun. I mean, I might do some traditional, similar to my Naked Hive, this
Yeah,
honey and malt to showcase that, which would be closer to Mead, which
yeah,
a
yeah,
lot of people appreciate. So, like I said, a lot of the Mead people got to try that, last month.
yeah,
So I,
for
I
sure.
do I like doing things like that to showcase that, and they enjoyed that. And like I said, it's I think it's helping both sides. You
Oh,
know,
100%.
because honey products, I'm noticing I'm meeting more bee people and stuff like that. So that gets them interested. They want to try a product with the honey in it. A lot of meat, like I said, a lot of people who have experienced need, so they're excited. So they come to the tent because that's close enough to them to need.
Yeah,
Um, so just the buzz around it, I think, is awesome. And just keep being an
yeah.
ambassador of honey, basically. You know?
I love it, my man. Well, I'm a freaking brick baby for life, a bricker for life, whatever we're going by these days. Everybody out there, go follow Brickterranean Beer Hut on the Instagrams. If you're down for some really kick-ass braggots, some Mel's potentially in the future, some cellos, hit up his website, get yourself an expensive-ass glass with some really cool free gifts to it, and look for this dude around. And like I said, if you're ever, Brick is the coolest cat. Reach out to this dude. I'm sure he would gladly, give you a piece of information or two if you were interested.
Yeah, we can talk shop. Like I said, a lot of stuff is similar, right?
Yeah,
Fermentation. Yes, how you might get to that point with the mash and all that may be different.
yeah.
Because I know my style of brewing is different than the beer game.
Which the beer to be on board with, like any beer brewer who wants to go to
It's two
any
against
beer
what
brewer
they're
who wants to go
doing.
to make a braggot needs to understand your grain bill honey substitution process, because it can't just be we're going to replace 10% of the grain bill with honey, let it fucking all die in the whirlpool, and whatever comes out the other side is what it is. It has to be a genuine attempt at getting the honey characteristic to survive that brutal ass heat and fermentation process, and to become the true amalgamation, the true sum is greater than the whole. The whole is greater than the sum of its part type of characteristic.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I think a bracket should be. That amalgamation of both to come up with whatever flavor profile that you're looking for at that time for whatever beverage that you're making at that time.
Yeah.
And you're gonna have to get out on that limb. And I think because of the expense of the honey, people are shy. Even with me, they're kind of shy. Like, ooh, that's gonna be expensive for them to fuck up.
Definitely. But like you said, if you don't take the risks, you can do smaller batches and scale them up. You don't have to start with a 20-gallon batch. But the important thing that you said is, if you don't take the risk, if you don't try it, if you don't push those boundaries, you're fucked. You're making just another mango habanero mead that the world doesn't fucking need, for so to speak. You know what I mean? The last thing the world needs is another entry-level basic anything.
And just figuring that out. And then my problem is going to be scaling. Every time I go up, for me, it's how much yeast I'm going to have to use. Or how much I'm going to have to grow out.
You propagate your yeast. Don't you have like one of them stainless steel yeast propagators?
Yeah, and I got one out of plastic too. I got a 7-gallon one I could do it. I got a plastic. That was my first one that I built. Because like I said, it's figuring out how to scale that going bigger, because it's not linear. That's what I'm learning too. So figuring out how much, and then also it's going to grow again when you initially put it in and you oxygenate it, you're actually growing that colony again. So depending on how much oxygen on that and how many times you do that in growing, because I tried different things at different points of oxygenating my brew. Because of my ABV level.
Concept. Like I know so few mead makers who even consider propagating their yeast, but it's such probably a really important step in the process for repeatability of like texture and flavor profiles. Not necessarily an exact same yeast replicant, but building that healthy yeast culture.
Or you're going to keep spending money buying yeast. Or I'm going to skimp out. I'm just going to use a half a pack. I use the other round off half pack. You ain't really measuring it. Half a pack,
Oh yeah.
All right, I'm doing the last of the half a pack. I'm telling some people that's what they do.
Oh, I'm even worse than that. I'm doing 1-gallon batches. I say, fuck it, I'm throwing the whole pack in. That's for 5 gallons. I'm just doing it because I don't want to have to save half packs.
Yep, and then they buy another pack.
Yeah.
When you can propagate it and save it, and I learned how to freeze it, mix it with the glycerin and all that, and freeze it, and then inoculate it with You put it in there, swirl it around, and then inoculate, and then grow it out.
Yeah, and yeah, it's a money saver. Not necessarily a time saver, unfortunately, but it's certainly something you could. I think significantly more people should consider, especially on a higher end scale. Oh, you finally got the microscope. You may have had it last time. You just didn't see the box. You've been talking about putting a lab in. How lab heavy are you now?
Not yet, but I'm working on doing something because that'll be one of the premises when I do a brick and mortar is having a lab and hiring folks to take what I'm doing to the next level for myself.
Yes.
And then I can really have some monster yeast.
Really have some monster yeast. Like I said last time, dude, if that ends up being the thing, you need to like
think about cherry picking the best of your yeast and growing from that
100%.
new. That's kind of what I did.
Selective yeast breeding. Keep the healthy yeast. Let those ones propagate. Let the
And I read of
weaker
some
ones
other
fall
breweries messing with stuff like that. Survival of the fittest, and then using that to procreate, but they got the money that they can freeze that now and get somebody to keep it clean. That's what these yeast banks are, and then keep their yeast for them and do that. Or some are doing it on site. They do that in their own lab and keep their cultures.
The biggest one that I know of that does that is Brewery. They're wildly known for having their own house strain of yeast that gives like those Black Tuesdays, that specific type of characteristic that you don't really find in any other stout.
Yep, and I'm doing kind of my version of that.
And it shows
on a smaller scale, but I'm doing my version of it, And that's what I'm going to have to learn. How do I scale that up if I make bigger batches and still come out with the same result? That's going to be the learning curve.
Right.
Because even jumping from 1 gallon to what I'm doing now was
a challenge.
A leap.
But you made it happen. So, I mean, like you said, you're not trying to do it by yourself. So you're trying to get a collection of people who are, at least as smart as you, if not smarter, to help you bring that, that dream to fruition, which I think is awesome.
So, I think that's the thing. People don't really think about the yeast that much. I don't think I get it because of how they got things style driven, that certain yeast, even for beer, is for certain things. I threw it out the window. I'm using this and I'm doing everything with it. It works. I know how I used it enough that I can tell when it's not doing what it's supposed to do. I know the ranges that it can work in.
Mm-hmm.
And you learn how to push it, certain ways, and get what flavors can come from it. I mean, I've done experience doing the same type of malt and honey, but doing my yeast separate, doing them together just to see what they bring to the party.
And this is so wild from somebody who's barely 5, 6 years into the game. You know what I mean? Like you say, if I remember right, you started around during the pandemic lockdown bullshit.
Yep.
Man, you're just built for this shit. I love it, man. So what's the flavor profiles coming down the pipeline, or is that top secret?
Nah, I think, like I said,
what's the next dessert one coming out?
So strawberry is probably going to be the next one.
Okay.
Hummingbird cake could be aging. I'll probably make them back to back behind each other.
Strawberry then hummingbird. Yeah.
Hummingbird will probably come out the year later, so it'll be aging for a couple of years when it comes out. Like I said, I'm probably going to do a quad. I'm going to do a blonde stout version. So I want to highlight the coffee and the cacao nibs, and I want to do a crazy fruit, probably from South America. So I'm gonna do one highlighting the different fruit. Eventually, I want to highlight the cacao fruit, the whole fruit itself. I want to do the zingy part of it, the white part that's on the inside, and I want to actually ferment the actual cacao part, and then make a braggot with both parts of it, just to see how it comes out.
Have you ever tinkered with any of that before?
Nope.
That cool. That's what I'm talking about, man. Nope. Yes, that is the level of experimentation we need from people. Have you tried that? Nope, but I'm really excited to do it.
Yep. So I just want to try different fruit. There's so many fruits out there. So what would it be like, and highlight that fruit in the actual beverage? I think that's what makes it fun with the medium of grains and the honey. Now I can highlight a fruit in it that
Yeah.
most people haven't tried. So they're gonna be kind of interested in it, how it tastes and stuff, just coming up what renditions I could do, and then this challenge of making different desserts is the fun part. There's all kinds of desserts.
Oh yeah.
I want to try to make smoothies and all that flavors, but they're gonna be a Braggot, but a smoothie flavor. I would like to try that next.
Smoothie braggots. Yeah. You'd mentioned you weren't really ever going to do any sours or anything like that, but the smoothie styles, I'm in for that. That sounds delicious.
So like think about a smoothie combination, that flavor profile, and think about that in a mead or a Braggot.
Oh yeah. I think that's meads and braggots are meads and like stouts specific, I think, are the perfect delivery vehicle for those more creamy, I guess thicker textured type of beverages. I don't know what a super thick IPA that might be a bit peculiar, but I give it a shot.
I mean, he's doing them thick sours and fruited. And I don't see them go crazy, with these
for sure.
fruited, whatever they are. Look, whatever they are, whatever style that is, I see them go crazy with those. It's a hit or miss. Some people like them, some people don't.
Yeah, some people can make good ones, and some people can't.
But I think it's different if you're doing a more sack type style. I think the delivery is going to be different, tannin level is going to be different. And I think they're more built for that kind of craziness, I think. So it'd be interesting to try stuff like that. But I think that my dessert series, Flavor Daddy, I think that's
Flavor Daddy.
Yeah, and I'm gonna have that just like on my thing. I'm gonna have it on the bottom of my hat, Flavor Daddy.
That's freaking legit. That was Flavor Daddy.
Yep.
Yes, that is so fucking legit. All right, man.
So I'm glad you got to enjoy some of those different things.
Yes.
I know they all were kind of in a different range, but that just show you, what beverages, alcoholic beverages can be. It's different. It's just having fun with it, and I think I think that's what's fun coming to my tent is, what did they do this year? Like, what does he have in, that's put in my glass this year? And I think that's what's fun and make it exciting when you pour in a glass or a bottle. Like, what is it going to taste like? Or they're looking at it like, how did he get a carrot cake in this bottle? Like you did when you looked at it. You're like, what?
Oh, 100%. It throws you back. It's not like anything you experience anywhere else for any type of style. It's not like any mead you have anywhere else. It's not like any beer you have anywhere else. But again, if anybody's out there who's really wants to be a true like Braggot aficionado, for lack of a better term, like one of your flights is a textbook example of what a Braggot flight would look like. They all have enough similar characteristics where you can tell, yes, this has a grain bill in it and this has honey in it, but there's enough uniqueness and characteristics and unique aromatic profiles and complexity to them all that they stand on their own. But to get it, I mean, it's like I said, it's a textbook masterclass type thing of doing Braggots. You've managed to create this realm that needs to be explored even beyond what I'm doing, because I don't feel like I do you enough justice just by talking to you. You need to be like, did you ever get to link up with them cats over at Auburn University?
I talked to the professor one more time. I need to try to catch up with them and talk to them again. Because I think that would be fun. Because like I said, they got their own bees there. They're experimenting. In fact, when I met them, they had made a Braggot, but it's back to what I told you. It was more on the simpler side, but even they were astonished of the flavors coming from the ones that I made and how it went together, and that how smooth it was. So they was, like I said, sending everybody to the tent. Like, y'all need to go try this. Like, this is different. And they said at that
You're,
festival, they never seen a line like that at any tent, you know. And then, you
yeah,
know, everybody trying to figure out, you know, especially like the commercials, they trying to figure out how. That's what everybody's first thing. What yeast you using? The normal questions,
yep,
you
100%.
know. You know, and like, or like some people think I'm competing with them, but it's like, I don't even, to be honest, I don't even think about you.
Yeah.
And
Oh
they kind
no,
of think, and they're like, what do you mean by that? I'm like,
you're the farthest thing
I'm
from my
not doing
mind when
that.
I'm
Most of
creating
what you're doing,
alcohol.
you're not even in the same class of people I'm trying to find. Because most people that come to me are spending. I'm looking for a different type of person than you.
You're looking to be
My
how to
person
do
can go
shit
you
the
and
cheapest way
me.
possible.
Yeah, like I'm different. I don't like I don't consider you in my weight class.
Other than today from 2 to 6 p.m., I don't fucking think about you.
You know, so and they kind of look at me. I'm like, I don't really think about you. It's something totally different. It's nothing against you. I'm doing something totally different, and I did
I
it on
fucks with
purpose.
myself. That's
It
it.
sets me apart. Look at my
Yep.
line. It sets me apart because people are curious, and then also once they taste it, they're like, "Oh, I never had nothing like this. This is crazy."
People that only fuck with themselves have a lot to be said. Like the last person I really heard that said that same thing was like Missy Elliott and Timbaland. You know what I mean? And them some of the fucking top cats in hip hop. So I think you're in a good group of fucking people, my man.
Yeah, you know, just have fun with it. Don't be so uptight. And I'll say, open your mind up and try stuff. Don't get locked in a box. I'm not in a box. I just do what I want, and I'm gonna try it. Or some people on fun, they give me a challenge. Make this, and then I try to figure it out. Make it attempt it because it's fun. How
Yeah.
can I make that flavor? Using honey, malt. You know, that's the fun part. How can I make that flavor? How can I make a carrot cake that tastes like carrot cake
But just
without taking a cake and throwing that in my mash? No, I kind of got all the flavors and brought it together so it tastes like one. Like that's science
true.
and fun.
And that's
Knowing how the
exactly it.
malt flavor characteristics are, knowing how the honey flavor is, knowing how much carrots to put in, and you know,
Yes.
adding those different ingredients, you know, to make the sum of its parts. You know,
Oh,
I think that's the fun part of brewing. Period. And more people just get so uptight about the rules said this. Man, screw the rules.
I think that's the perfect place to end on, man. Screw the rules. Brickterranean Beer Hut, go give him a follow on the Instagrams. Like I said, reach out if you're looking for stuff. He's got the ways to get you the product that you need. Thank you again so much, Brick. I look forward to talking to you in the future, my man.
Oh yeah, I look forward to hooking up with you.
Yes.
I'll
We need to
be
make
in
it a barrel
NOLA
and
in
flow.
April. I'll be in NOLA in April for Barrel on the Bayou.
Barrel on the
Barrel on
Bayou
the
in
Bayou.
April. I will do my best to make that. I can convince the wife to go to that. She wants to go back to New Orleans. So I'm in. Down my four flats on the Cadillac, homie.
Yep. So keep your eye out for Barrel on Bayou. That's because what they do is you're always gonna have the one in Pittsburgh, and then he picks other places. They went to
Yeah.
Barcelona last year.
Oh, why is a motherfucker? No
So
shit.
this year they're doing NOLA.
All right. Know what it is in April. All right, Brick. Have a good rest of your email, man. I appreciate you so much. I'll be in
All right,
touch.
man. Have a good night.
You too. All right. It's my man Brick over there, down just southwest of the ATL. Hit him up at the Barrel and Flow, Barrel on the Bayou. Mostly just follow him on the Instagram. And I'm telling you, this cat is putting Braggots on a whole nother level, high ABV stuff on a whole nother level. It's he needs to be out there, and I'm really upset that he doesn't have more recognition than he does. I will catch you guys on the next video. It's been a great time. Have a great one. Peace.